Ashanti was everywhere in the early 2000s. She first burst onto the music scene as a featured artist on a couple of mega hits, then quickly dominated the charts on her own with her #1 debut album. With success often comes accolades, and she collected quite a few, including breaking a Guinness World Record. Then, she just sort of fell off the radar. In this video, we're going to get to the bottom of some of the reasons why and how she eventually made a comeback. Singer, songwriter, record producer, and actress Ashanti Douglas was born on October 13, 1980 in Glen Cove, New York. The arts were in her blood from birth, as her mother is a former dance teacher and her father was a singer, before leaving show business for more steady 9-to-5 work. She also has a younger sister. Ashanti's mother named her after the Ashanti Empire in Ghana, meaning woman of strength. Even though her first singing performance took place in a church choir at the age of 3, Ashanti admits that she didn't wake up one day and say she wanted to be a singer. As the story goes, when she was 12 years old, her mother discovered her full singing talent when she asked Ashanti to turn off the radio while she did her chores and left the room. Ashanti did as she was told, but she began to sing on her own. Her mother came back into the room to reprimand her for disobeying and was astonished to find that it was Ashanti singing Reminisce by Mary J. Blige, not the radio. In high school, she was an especially gifted athlete who participated in a varied selection of sports, but she was most gifted in track and field as a runner. That talent led to getting scouted by the Olympics and 2 scholarship offers to Princeton and Hampton. Fun fact, while things didn't end up working out, Ashanti and her mother would pay a visit to Bad Boy Records to meet with Sean Puff Daddy Combs. At the time, they didn't have enough money to cut a demo, so Ashanti handed him a headshot and sang live. She was offered her first singing contract with Jive Records at the age of 14. However, things crashed and burned after a year when it became clear the label wanted to fashion her into a pop star, a la Britney Spears. The material didn't connect with Ashanti, so she asked to be let out of her deal. 3 years later, she was picked up by Epic Records. That opportunity required her to move to Atlanta, Georgia. She admitted that there were a lot of tears from family members the day she left home. In a case of déjà vu, after only a year in ATL, the person who signed Ashanti was let go, and the artists he'd signed were also dismissed. Ashanti returned home again without an album to show for her time with the label. After graduating from high school in 1998, she was faced with a difficult decision: go to college as many of her friends were doing, or pursue her music career full-time. While she had been admitted to Hampton University on a track scholarship, and her music career had yet to take off, she chose to pursue her artistic dreams over continuing her academic education. Ashanti forged ahead, recording demos in New York while looking for yet another record deal. After a couple of years of hard work, she got her big break when Irv Gotti, co-founder of Murder Inc. Records under Def Jam, tapped her to sing backup on the Big Pun track, How We Roll, off an album released after his death. Soon after that, Ashanti first hit the airwaves in a big way with her contribution to the Ja Rule song, Always on Time, which came out in the second half of 2001. It hit the top spot on the Billboard Hot 100, as well as the R&B hip-hop songs chart. I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. Fun fact, Brandy was originally supposed to sing the hook on the track. It's unclear why that never happened, but Ashanti was happy to grab the opportunity for herself. Another collaboration soon followed, this time with Fat Joe on a song called What's Love. Released in early 2002, it also became a hit, climbing to number 2 on the Hot 100, number 3 on the R&B hip-hop songs chart, and was all the motivation Murder Inc. needed to sign Ashanti to her own contract. What's love? Got to do with it. While all this was going on, Ashanti was also hard at work penning hits for other artists, including a remix version of the Jennifer Lopez track, Ain't It Funny? Fun fact, Ashanti also recorded vocals for that track, as well as another J-Lo hit featuring Ja Rule, I'm Real remix. In the end, instead of re-recording the tracks, J-Lo apparently just lip-synced over Ashanti's vocals. It wasn't until many years later that Ashanti would get her due credit. In 2002, Ashanti released her eponymous debut album, which sold just over 500,000 copies throughout the US in its first week of release, putting her in the Guinness Book of World Records for the biggest selling debut from a female artist ever. The album has since been certified triple platinum in the country and sold 6 million copies worldwide. Its lead single, Foolish, takes its melody from the 1983 DeBarge song Stay With Me. It was then made famous by Notorious B.I.G. in his 1995 hit One More Chance. The melody, chosen by Irv, made Ashanti nervous about having her debut single ride on the shoulders of such a big star as B.I.G. She ultimately put her trust in Irv to know what he was doing. He felt that the song needed a familiar beat that people would recognize. Foolish became another #1 pop hit and made Ashanti the second artist, after the Beatles, to have their first 3 chart entries peak within the top 10 of the Hot 100 simultaneously.
My heart can't take no more, I keep on running back.
The follow-up singles, Happy and Baby, were also very successful, peaking inside the top 10 and top 20 in the US, respectively. Fun fact, the album may have had yet another hit if Ashanti hadn't turned down the Eve featuring Alicia Keys track, Gangsta Lovin'. She told BuzzFeed in 2022 that she doesn't know what she was thinking passing it up. The album received 8 Billboard Music Awards, 2 American Music Awards, and a Grammy Award in 2003 for Best Contemporary R&B Album. Another award she won around that time, however, was quite controversial. When it was announced that Ashanti would receive the Soul Train Aretha Franklin Award for Entertainer of the Year, a high school boy in California took offense and started an online petition against her. It stated, "We, the undersigned, feel that there are many superior entertainers that are more worthy of this award. It is an insult to other entertainers who are more deserving. Ashanti simply lacks singing ability and stage presence. Please sign this and you will help our current hard-working artists by protesting against ordinary, mediocre artists from getting a highly praised award." Nearly 30,000 people agreed with him, signing the petition. But that wasn't all. Radio stations opened up their airwaves to let listeners weigh in on the controversy. Message boards on various hip-hop sites went in on Ashanti's singing merits. One critic even started a website, www.ihateashanti.com. The site has since been taken down. BET.com wrote a story about the drama, posting a link to the petition. On its website, Soul Train posted its own expletive-laced response, the cleaner version of which went as follows. The recipient of an annual Aretha Franklin Award for Entertainer of the Year does not require that the honorees sound like Aretha Franklin, look like Aretha Franklin, have as many hits as Aretha Franklin, to even the smallest degree, but only that the honoree have experienced a very successful, past approximately 12-month period. Veteran singer Patti LaBelle, who presented the award, fully supported Ashanti and felt honored to be there. Despite chart-topping success, many reviewers panned Ashanti's debut effort. Other critics pointed to the fact that her phenomenal first-week sales were propelled along by Island Def Jam Music Group, the parent company of Murder Inc. The company offered retailers a $2 rebate for each album sold in the first 2 weeks. Her detractors also said her success was really a result of riding on other people's talent, namely Fat Joe and Ja Rule. Without them, many argue, she'd just be another American Idol contestant in low-risers and a belly shirt. Then the Ja Rule versus 50 Cent beef happened. What did that have to do with Ashanti, you may ask? Well, 50 didn't just go after Ja. He went off on the entire Murder Inc. crew. He and his artist, Lloyd Banks, specifically zeroed in on Ashanti's looks, mocking her sideburns. In a 2015 interview with Vlad TV, Ashanti said that while she didn't believe the quality of their music took a dip, 50 convincing the world to stop supporting the label did lead to fanfare dying down. She also revealed that it was Nelly who made 50 apologize to her at the 2007 MTV VMAs. In the summer of 2003, Ashanti dropped her second album, Chapter 2, which became her second album to peak on the 200 album chart. It also went platinum. The lead single, Rock With You, Aw Baby, became a hit, peaking at number 2 on the Hot 100. The second single, Rain On Me, reached the number 7 spot on the same chart. Chapter 2 was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Contemporary R&B Album, while Rock With You, Aw Baby, and Rain On Me were each nominated in the categories of Best R&B Song and Best Female R&B Vocal Performance. In November of the same year, Ashanti released her third album, Ashanti's Christmas. It only did moderately well. She also landed herself a new boyfriend in 2003 when she began dating Nelly, after meeting during a press conference at the Grammy Awards. At the end of 2004, Ashanti released her fourth album, Concrete Rose. It debuted at number 7 on the 200 chart and became her third platinum certified album. Its first single, Only You, reached number 13 on the Hot 100. Its second single, Don't Let Them, only garnered minimal chart attention, which was charged to Def Jam's refusal to fund a music video due to Irv's legal troubles. Irv, along with others, including his brother and co-founder of Murder Inc., Christopher, was accused of laundering more than $1 million in drug money by federal agents in 2003, and went to trial over the matter through 2005. Eventually, they were acquitted of all counts. Even though Irv claimed that Ashanti wasn't supportive during the ordeal, she insists that she was. The damage had been done, though, in more ways than one, with that moment serving as the beginning of the end of their relationship. Since her affiliation with Murder Inc. caused her music-related opportunities to dry up, Ashanti focused more on her acting career at this time. At the end of 2005, she released a remix compilation album titled Collectibles by Ashanti. It didn't fare well on the charts at all. Then, after several straight years of her dominating the radio airwaves, Ashanti disappeared. She wasn't heard from again until 2008, when her fifth album, The Declaration, was released. By this time, Murder Inc. had moved over to Universal. The project was met with only moderate reception and produced the lowest first-week sales of any of her studio albums. The official first single, The Way That I Love You, was released that January. It barely made it into the top 40 on the pop chart, peaking at number 37. While promoting the album, Ashanti tried a PR stunt that went totally off the rails. In the music video for The Way That I Love You, she alludes to murdering her cheating on-screen beau. Her team set up a website that allowed users to send fake news reports and warnings from fake detectives about copycat murders inspired by the clip to friends. A questionnaire on the site allowed users to customize the reports to include the name of the recipient as the next likely victim. Unfortunately for Ashanti, it didn't end well for her, and she and Universal faced a lot of backlash for the stunt, which critics alleged promoted violence more than it promoted the record. While Ashanti initially endorsed the imagery in the music video, Universal later issued a statement saying that following discussions with her, they had jointly decided to remove the website. 2 other tracks off the Declaration album were also released, Body on Me and Good Good. By spring of the following year, Irv announced that he was officially releasing Ashanti from Murder Inc. She went on to link up with Entertainment One to launch her own record label called Written Entertainment a couple of years later. Ashanti's 6th and to date last album, titled Braveheart, was released independently in 2014. While it opened at number 10 on the Billboard 200, becoming her 5th consecutive top 10 album, none of the 3 singles charted. Behind the scenes, she had a far more serious issue going on. Years later, after only a brief mention in 2018, she opened up in greater detail in 2022 in an interview with The Breakfast Club about experiencing sexual harassment at the hands of a close-knit male music producer, with whom she created 2 songs for the album. Initially, he offered her the tracks for free, before walking back on his word and giving her an ultimatum: shower with him or pay $40,000 for each song. When her family stepped in to help deal with the situation, the unnamed producer apologized and offered 3 records for free. After dating for over a decade, Ashanti and Nelly split up at this time. Over the next several years, she released singles sporadically. Probably another reason why Ashanti was keeping a low profile had to do with the amount of time she'd spent in court fighting a man convicted of stalking her. DeVar Heard was found guilty in March 2016 of felony second-degree stalking after sending several X-rated tweets to her and her sister, and even texting an X-rated pic of himself to her mother. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison and not allowed to contact Ashanti or her family for 5 years. That verdict already followed years of legal battles between him and Ashanti. He was previously convicted in 2009 of stalking her and arrested again in 2013 for violating strict orders to not contact her. In May 2020, Fat Joe shocked Ashanti during an Instagram live chat when he revealed that Irv wanted to have Jennifer Lopez sing the hook on What's Love, citing that the label wished J-Lo and Joe to duet because of their shared Latin heritage. Luckily for Ashanti, who seems seriously stunned at the revelation, Joe lobbied to keep her on because he said she sounded amazing on it. She added that Irv had constantly tried to sabotage her career by pulling records from her. During that same IG live chat, the topic of her relationship with Ja Rule also came up. Since the start of her career, the two appeared inseparable, and rumors began to circulate that they were dating. Ashanti stressed, though, that she and Ja were never romantic. 20 years after releasing her debut album, Ashanti finally earned rights to its master recordings. As a result, she announced that she would re-record it. She also acquired all her albums under Universal Music Group, plus Braveheart, which she released on her independent record label. The acquisition wasn't easy, though, as she told Billboard.com in 2022. There were definitely obstacles. Certain people don't want to see you move forward and progress in life, so they try to create roadblocks. You need a strong legal team to support you and make sure you're doing everything correctly. It's really important as an artist to continue to spread the ownership narrative. I love what Taylor Swift did. Anything worth something will be a bit of a battle. In January 2021, Ashanti and Keisha Cole faced off in a versus battle. It was a major success, as over 1 million viewers tuned in, even after the event was rescheduled twice beforehand. Although both singers matched up pretty equally music-wise, Ashanti reigned as the overall People's Champ in terms of the positive energy she brought to the battle. Later that year, Ashanti was back on the Versus stage again, but this time as a supporting character in the battle between fellow collab partners Fat Joe and Ja Rule. She also had what she later called an awkward run-in with her ex, Nelly. She hadn't seen him in 6 years and had no idea he was going to be there. They ended up sharing a now viral hug on stage. At the time, Ja asked Ashanti if there was any chance of the former couple rekindling their romance, which she quickly shut down. And that was that. Or so we thought. We'll get into those details a little later. In April 2022, Ashanti received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Later that same year, during the 3rd episode of the Murder Inc. story docuseries that aired on BET, Irv's story of the day he supposedly bagged Ashanti became front and center. He stated that things jumped off one day when he took her home from the studio. As they were saying their goodbyes at the door, he grabbed her and kissed her. He also made sure to mention that he was separated from his wife, Deb, at the time. He took it a step further by also claiming on his now infamous appearance on the Drink Champs podcast that they had slept together. A couple of months later, Ashanti responded on the Angie Martinez IRL podcast.
Irv definitely has his side and his version, you know. I think that sometimes when, you know, like, you may think that it's something and the other person knows that it's not, you know, and you manifest this thing into something big and it's really not that. And then when that person finally realizes that it's not that, it turns them into a completely different person. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like Irv has flat out lied about a lot of things.
She also called out Irv's refusal to talk about the real reason why she left Murder Inc.
Okay, yeah, me and Nelly were dating. Mm-hmm. Irv was salty. Irv would not let me come to the studio to record. Irv was telling everyone not to record with me. Why do I want to stay in that situation? How can I stay in that situation? Mm-hmm. You know what he said to me?
What?
He said, nah, you want to be with Nelly? Go sign a dirty A&T. We don't want you.
At that point, the two hadn't spoken for a decade. She said, save for a text message he sent her in 2016, apologizing for talking about their relationship in a radio interview and promising to never do it again. She reiterated to Angie Martinez,
let's clear this up.
Okay.
We're not going to say relationship. We dealt with each other, but having was Irv my boyfriend? Was I his girlfriend? Never.
Really?
Never. So,
well, was he married? He was still married at the time, right? He was married.
That's my point. Irv had several girlfriends, you know? So I'm a little confused by the thought, you know what I'm saying? And the label and the description.
Fun fact, Ashanti did not participate in that Murder Inc. doc. When asked why, she told Billboard.com that it was because she was working on her own documentary and that people will be floored by the footage and stories that haven't been told. Over the years, Ashanti has been vocal about wanting to settle down, get married, and have children. She told People in 2022, "But I have to make sure it's with the right person. Trust me, there's a lot of guys that want to be my baby daddy, and they've tried." Could that be happening right now with a blast from the past? Ashanti and her long-term, long-ago love, Nelly, rekindled their relationship in 2023. Many months after the duo first sparked reconciliation rumors, they made it official on September 12th when Ashanti arrived on the pink carpet at the 2023 MTV VMAs. She accessorized her gold sequin dress with a clutch featuring a throwback image of the couple. She also spoke to People saying, "We're in a great space. Everything is positive. We're having a lot of fun." Nelly also confirmed that he and Ashanti were back together during an interview with Love and Hip Hop stars Rashida and Kirk Frost. When asked about the relationship status of both artists, Nelly admitted, Yeah, we cool again. I think it surprised both of us though. It wasn't anything that I don't think was planned." Fans of both artists will already know that Ashanti and Nelly's romance has long been something of a mystery, as well as a source of gossip, as both have played coy in the press over the years, whether they were actually together or just friends. She confirmed to People in 2005 that they went out, but said they were not boyfriend and girlfriend, though 3 years later, she teased that an engagement was definitely in the future. In 2013, she laughed off questions about Nelly in a Hot 97 interview, jokingly asking, "Who said we had a relationship?" The following year, Ashanti admitted that Nelly was her first real love in an interview with Sway in the Morning. Rumors about their initial split centered on cheating on both sides. In early December 2023, Us Weekly confirmed that the couple were expecting their first child together. The baby will be Ashanti's only child, while Nelly shares 2 adult children, a daughter and son, with ex Chinetta Valentine. Ashanti first sparked pregnancy speculation when she attended Nelly's Black and White Ball in St. Louis. During the event, she put her hand on her stomach while on stage with Nelly, and he did the same. According to a fan video shared by TMZ, the couple broke into laughter after seemingly hinting that they are expanding their family.